3 years ago, I decided to turn my backyard into a food forest. So I put out a call for help, began learning about permaculture, and started running as hard as I could in the direction of my dream. But creating Goldie Farms was not all sunshine and rainbows, and I want to share with you my lessons learned in the process of transforming my third of an acre suburban backyard into a food forest by mimicking patterns in nature and following the permaculture principle of accelerated succession and evolution, and the surprising, unanticipated effect it had. Goldie Farms certainly wasn't the ideal place to start a food forest. But despite the backyard being full of garbage, concrete, and asphalt, having hydrophobic, sandy soil that doesn't hold moisture, California suffering from severe drought, and then fires which caused unbearable smoke, and then a heat wave that was so hot it actually burned a lot of the plants. If this wasn't bad enough, then came the floods. And of course, as you know, this was all during a pandemic. And yet I just kept going, walking right into the storms, driven by this vision I had for a world that was just more beautiful, magical, connected, and healthy. And with that vision, I transformed the barren, lifeless soil into a grassy meadow and maze for kids to explore. Then the sunflowers. So many sunflowers. And they attracted pollinators. Then adding wood chips and chickens added fertility to the soil, and things just started growing like crazy. Now it's a young forest with several feet of rich, living soil. The trees that were once struggling to survive are now thriving, and each season I add more flowers, which attracts more hummingbirds and bees. And the best part is the food and medicine growing itself right outside the back door, 24/7. But somewhere along the way, something really important began to happen to me. I began waking up and seeing magic everywhere. As I worked with nature, I began to remember that we are every bit a part of nature too, and the principles that apply out here apply to us as well. And as more and more of us are awakening to the call to do something to change the direction of humanity, we are actually nature saving herself. Even though I was starting to have all these amazing, affirming experiences, I kept chasing something outside myself, which I called Goldieland. I traveled so far seeking this paradise, and along the way, I kept meeting inspiring people who are also creating the more beautiful world our hearts cry for. But all my wildest dreams and all my adventures chasing this vision just brought me again and again right back to the backyard, and left me wondering, what if every backyard, empty lot, and rooftop was a food forest? We are not responsible for saving the world, but we are responsible for saving ourselves, strengthening our character, mastering our words and thoughts, becoming brave, resilient, courageous, and kind. We are here to learn to love through the distortions of this reality. Connecting with nature, growing my own food and my own medicine broke the spell that was upon me and allowed me to see that every challenge, whether caused by the forces of nature or evil conspirators, or even just the struggle against our own minds, regardless of the source of our struggle, these obstacles are all here for us once we decide to be the hero of our adventure rather than the victim. The challenges in life teach us to heal, to grow, to expand what we thought was possible, and most of all, to learn how to love. Goldie Farms has taught me many things: that life is meant to be savored and enjoyed, that nature is abundant, she never stops giving, all we have to do is be grateful. I haven't shared my whole story of what I had to overcome in my personal life, the struggle that drove me to create Goldie Farms. And I'm realizing that I just don't need to share it. It's the past. And I'm finally ready to let go of my old stories. And I invite you to join me into a new world where we support one another in being brave enough to follow our heart's wildest, truest calling, all the while trusting that we are held in the hands of love. I'm not in Goldie Land yet, but I finally awoke to what's possible when we let go of everything we thought we knew and allow nature to rewild us.